On July the 8th, a guy by the name of History in 3, who basically is on TikTok, and I guess what he does is give Black history within 3 minutes, made a very interesting video. Now, it didn't get a whole lot of views on TikTok, but it did make its way throughout the Black American talking spaces, and this is what he had to say.
Apparently, there's too much global blackness at the cookout. People saying Juneteenth is American, not Pan-African. They show is mad that Essence is run by a Kenyan woman, even trying to separate our struggle from those attacked by ICE. Newsflash, Black American culture has always been global. Y'all didn't say nothing after the Haitian Revolution. All them Haitians poured into New Orleans shaped the culture y'all love at Essence to this day. Let's talk about how Juneteenth originated in Texas. We became free on a land that 30 years prior was Mexico, a country where many of us escaped to, along with Canada and the Bahamas, Sierra Leone and Liberia. I mean, where does American blackness start and stop? We do live in a global empire. And I'ma just say it, many of y'all just started waving the Juneteenth flag because it was created in 1997. The Pan-African flag has been a staple in Black households since it was created in 1920. A Jamaican named Marcus Garvey and the United Negro Improvement Association created it and debuted it in New York. It was created in response to an American song called Every Race Has a Flag But the... All of a sudden, y'all talking about this flag represents global blackness? As if that's a slur? You forgot that the man that coined Black Power, Stokely Carmichael, was from Trinidad? The first Black woman in Congress, Shirley Chisholm, her people were from Barbados? And we know our music has been exported all around the world, from jazz to hip-hop. But stop pretending like you weren't just at that Afrobeats brunch the other day. A genre pioneered by Fela Kuti out of Nigeria. It was the Black Panther Party that wore berets in solidarity with African liberation movements. And you over here acting like you don't have a dashiki or at least some kente cloth in your closet. I got one more. You know you felt it when them Haitians whooped on ICE in Brooklyn, just like you celebrated the Montgomery Brawl. I'm not saying that Black American culture does not exist. We can see, smell, hear, feel, and taste it. And it's not to say that both Juneteenth and Essence may have become too corporate. What I am saying is that our blackness has always been global, whether we're the ones who've been influenced or we've influenced the world. Sometimes we just don't realize how diverse being Black is. Black is not stagnant. It is alive and growing. So instead of being upset at what it looks like, get mad at the corporations that steal it and look at the opportunities to organize, celebrate, and make money with Black communities all around the world. You can put your boots on the ground, but it's global solidarity that's going to get us free.
Now, this clip went viral. It was so much so that Tariq Nasheed actually rebutted it. And obviously, there are a few issues in this commentary, such as the Pan-African flag being a staple in homes since 1920. I don't believe that's true. And also that most people have a daishiki in their closet. But he was speaking some facts within the situation. And overall, the message that he is trying to push, which I honestly believe is, listen, we are missing the opportunities as Blacks to work together. We should monetize it. We should do all of these things. And obviously, in this video, that is his agenda, okay? And I'm not gonna go into more of the discrepancies of his video because anybody can make mistakes. But I wanna talk about the larger issue, which is the problem that Pan-Africanism has failed to solve, which is one thing. What do people get out of it? And that's something that we're trying to find out, and that's something that we're figuring out. And then this is why diaspora wars are occurring, all right? I'm in Uganda. I often travel amongst Africa, usually Kenya. Sometimes I don't tell everybody where I'm at, all right? And then when you find Black British people, you find Black Americans in Africa, the conversation always revolves around, man, it's hard for me to make friends here. And you're like, well, why is it hard for you to make friends? Well, I just feel like whenever I try to integrate, for whatever reason, I feel like I'm being taken advantage of. Whenever I'm trying to be in this community, I feel like I'm not being accepted or I'm not being looked at as one. Now, these are Blacks that are in Africa. This is not to say that they don't like it in Africa. This is not to say that they don't want to be here. But what you can feel from so many Blacks, even, let's say, Ugandan Americans, Nigerian Americans, Ghanaian Americans, people who are from here, they've lived abroad and come back, they share these situations, right? And then when we look at Pan-Africanism is pretty much presented as solving the world's problem, especially in the Black community, the opportunity that we leave on the table without working together. When you are dealing, and I hate to say this, but I'm gonna talk about certain people in the Black world, and that still have a survivalism mentality. Now that could be Black Americans, or hashtag African Americans, or it could be Africans, but it's hard to work with people or have a survivalism mentality. And unfortunately, this attitude all throughout the African world and in the diaspora. I'm going to be honest with you, it is very much so here in Africa. So when you deal with people who don't see a lot of value in collaboration, this is not all Africans, right? Or all Black Americans. And if people are feeling like surviving, it doesn't matter to them what your goal is. Let me talk about this guy. He mentioned a whole bunch of stuff that was so impactful, the history between Blacks working together. Talked about Stokely Carmichael, Shirley Chisholm, who has some controversy in the community, but Fela Kuti, people that have been inspired by us, or we've been inspired, our community, by them. And the reason why Black Americans care less about that now is because it doesn't benefit them today. It's just like me talking to Africans about colonialism and who they really are. Like I had a brother that came here to Uganda, and he was trying to teach Ugandans about the history of who they were and what the white man did to them and all of that. And as you know, Africans don't have a whole lot of experience dealing with white people. And they were listening, but I noticed that they didn't care. And the reason why they didn't care is because that information didn't benefit them. It didn't benefit them one bit. And the guy was really like sincere, coming from a place of concern and trying to educate. But that information that he was giving them, it couldn't help put no money in their pockets. It couldn't help feed them. It wasn't an opportunity for them to do anything. And they really wanted to get the hell up out of there, to be honest. They saw absolutely no value in what was going on. And a lot of Black Americans feel there is nothing to be gained from working with Africa. And the feeling, I believe, also is very mutual from Africans, especially those in the diaspora. Working with them, this is not everybody, right? But there is nothing to be gained. Now, when you have people that have a survivalism mentality, whether it's in the Black American community or in the African community, it's a mentality that says, what about me? And I gotta say this, and I've seen this so pronounced since I lived on the continent, since I've been working in this kind of content creation space, which focuses on Pan-Africanism, understanding Blacks more than I have ever in my life. When you're at the bottom as a group around the world, you're thinking about what it is about you, right? Like Black Americans in our culture. Yeah, we're doing very well, and we've done better before. But I think if you look at Black Americans and then understanding, hey, we've looked out for other groups in the past, Hispanics, Asians, civil rights, and we see how that turned out for us. Now you're asking for us to collaborate largely with Pan-Africanism, and then what that does, you're telling me that I need to sacrifice again. That's what you're telling me. Like you're telling me I have to collaborate, so I need to give again for somebody else to be able to get. And that's what collaboration is. It's sacrifice. When you collaborate with somebody, some part of you has to die for the collaboration to win. All right. And then when you look at Africans who have been stolen from, they have been taken from. All right. They have to leave some of them their countries to get an opportunity somewhere else. And you're saying, let's work with Black British. Let's work with Black Americans. When you tell an African that, in theory, it sounds nice to say, oh, I'm Pan-African. But when it comes time to sacrifice, the African saying, no, I've already sacrificed my entire life. Like I'm trying to get out of the situation that I'm in right now. I'm going to that country for opportunity for myself. I don't care. This is not everybody, but this is largely what happens. And so this survivalism is seen oftentimes in the private sector in Africa. Even international companies turn into a survivalism mechanism. So when you're trying to work, when you're trying to do something, everybody's like, no, we can't give them that much. Don't pay this person that much. Don't do this. They're going to use you there. So now we can't even establish framework or trust so that I can work with you, you can work with me, because all of us are trying to survive in this. And now it comes to, well, what I have, I want to keep now. I don't want to give it to you. Like, I'm not going to give any more. Like, no, you're already taking enough from me. Stop taking from me. Go on your own. And Pan-Africanism has not realized that yet. Blacks in general have been at the bottom in their respective places. People who are at the bottom typically are surviving. And at any time somebody who is a survivor, who have sometimes tried to collaborate it, and they feel like they've been scammed, they're not going to want to work again. And then you keep pushing this We need to work together as Pan-Africans. Well, okay, well then we have to figure out, what does somebody get out of this? Somebody has to get, sides have to gain. Both groups should gain something. And right now, it's like we're either one group gains, one suffers, or one group suffers and one gains. For example, I did a video, let's say for example, Black Americans moving to Ghana. It was on DFW 77 channel. You saw these Ghanaians complaining about the African Americans coming here, Black Americans coming here. They said, hey, when the Black Americans come here, they think that they're struggling, but when they go to the market and pay for something, immediately that starts to go up. Now their presence is being a hindrance on me economically. So now I'm suffering for the fact that they're here. Okay. Now the Black Americans turn around and say, oh, okay, well now you have these politicians who are Caribbean or African, and then they get to be in political situations. And now that political person who is Black but not African American is now shooting down a reparations bill. Their presence is hurting me. At the same time, everybody is saying they're Pan-African. They love Black people. We've seen it right now in LA. Karen Bass, oh, I love Black people. Now, but supporting Hispanic immigrants. That's somebody from our community. Brandon Johnson, the same thing. Eric Adams, the same thing. You can say anything you want, but your actions show something different. And the Black world has to adjust to this. Like, if we're going to be together, you're going to work together, there has to be framework of what is this side getting? You want this person to come to Africa and do something, what will they get? Shout out to Ghana for doing a little bit of a better job, and Sierra Leone trying to offer citizenship. But what are these people going to get? Same thing even for those people who are coming from respective diasporas. I've been living here, man. I see the most disrespected group that I've seen in the Black world are the citizens themselves that come from these countries. Ugandan Americans, Ugandan British, Kenyan Americans, Kenyan British. I mean, talk about somebody getting the short end of the stick, I would say it's them. I mean, they go through so much hassle. There was a guy here in Uganda who lived in Sweden. I don't even want to mention his name. You can look at the story. Stayed there in Sweden or Switzerland for like 30 years. Came back home. Like the day they celebrated, obviously was a hit. Was over some kind of land or property dispute, allegedly. The guy broke in the house, machete. First, cut the legs off so he couldn't move. Killed him. Then killed the wife. And then now people are saying this is what happens when you go back home from the diaspora and you have land and you have family members that dislike you. That's one of the things that are being said. I can't say that that's the truth, but that's what the rumors are. All right. So this is the situation that we deal in, you know, in working with Africa. We talk about it as if it's so easy. It's not easy. There's a big gap. And what one group is coming in and trying to invest on the continent, or one group is trying to come back from America or from Saudi Arabia or from Dubai back to the continent, and then there is absolutely no help or no guidance, and then you're asking this person that they need to work with another group to make Pan-Africanism great? At what cost to me? It's a great idea, but it lacks depth and understanding. And ultimately, somebody has to suffer for it to happen. But what's the benefit? We haven't thought about that. It's just a great idea. Don't get me wrong, I'm still a Pan-African person in ideology, but in practicality is where it lacks. It has to benefit people so they can see why they're doing it. People gotta look at Pan-Africanism and say, what's in it for me? Not, I don't trust that guy because he's saying he's a Pan-African, but he's a scammer. Or that person just wants me because I'm an American and I can help invest into their business because it benefits them. That's what we have in the Pan-African community. We don't have things that benefit someone else. And all of the facts, all of the things we talked about in the past, all of the stuff that we've done together in spots, it's not gonna matter if it doesn't add value to people. And I'm gonna keep saying that until this is figured out on our platforms. It gotta mean something. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, LCD Jackson, back at it again with another episode here on Kanganda. I'm out.